whilst John Jinapo and Sam George kickboxed and the voting booths. As this act happened 3 times, so leadership had to go into conclave once more. Upon their return, they asked us not to show our votes anymore. I immediately sensed danger, especially when during voting we noticed many skirmishes where some opposition members would cross over into the MPP voting booth to vote there. As they're looking at the slim margin between us, MPP and NDC, all the NDC had to do was to lure or convince a couple of members of MPP and carry the day. So I indicated to leadership the dangers in that ruling. After voting and true to my words, the MPP votes counted 136 instead of 138 numbers we had. I wouldn't accept that. The irregularities accompanying the voting from the start were too many, which had compromised the voting so much that I wanted to create a situation for a rerun. Oh, really? Okay. Just as my colleague from the other side took the ballot box away on 3 occasions, I also grabbed a few ballot papers before they could be counted so as to force a rerun. It's a very tough situation to have opposition as speaker, especially when the president in his absence of Nana Danko Akufo-Addo, his vice, not to mention how parliament will function by passing the president policies and laws to pave a way for development. My colleagues on the majority side couldn't help take advantage on my sacrifice to force a rerun, and we had to settle for an opposition speaker. I must say, I'm heartbroken and dejected. We've not seen the end of this yet. With this success, they will tell us what they want and what they don't in parliament, because the whip system has been compromised. This is so sad. I would die for my party any day. I did it for the grassroots who relied on us in power to survive. The president who needs some peace to run the country, and the greater NPP party as a whole, because we cannot always allow the NDC to threaten and vilify us. I apologize though to my family and friends, both far and near, who may be affected by my actions. The NPP in me couldn't be controlled. I apologize, but I tried. We are Honorable Carlos Ahenkra. Indeed, Nsem me born it off idea. Not just say the NPP in him or NPP ni mapa. And they said they na near money cost no first. Muntaka fa ballot box. They question baby for some minutes and son or dear Sam George mo kk ballot boxes. Or she said the near kwa na ehano. And I face so or she said the whip system no. I'm compromise no now we share slim majority or more one shot battle and then in their favor. Or 200 and said no, adie so my bibi emia and call rerun one shot. NDC for no Omaya Bukata. No me to me at speaker. True to his words, they are not all cano. Or shower to her more king can say a idea a bem no si debi. Mint now sir make a loss a hinkra many ding. So the TBA I was saying to me force bibi ye bibi. Na afe yet me call for rerun. I don't see any call ballot papers no na odi from odi dwane here. Well, you be kwa homano so na afe lawyer Samson Ladi ayenene, a private legal practitioner no aso na ye host news file here on Joy. Ye kwadi ane ne twetwen kama. Lawyer what me nka nyame asum dwen ka wana pay.
Good morning.
Wait. Me just say bibia bokọ there.
I don't see it.
Right. And about the say, lawyer and Ryan, you should be the course or Ghana Russia Bedjam now. Finally, I'm to meet you, speaker. But first, said the situation it's here. You come Russia Bedjam. Why when a constituting majority? Why when a constituting minority?
So I'm coming to see. I said, me share ne can acquire drink crack. But matter say. Yeah, omo mashibejom na nkasa. Do betina afenu no obiase ono ena o majority. Kwanya me fan. And he say Sebi se o share about one year 2 years no. The number of seats, parliamentary seats, are Electoral Commission a gazette here. Na odekrata ebetu abontena na ochese NDC ewo 137 and MPP ewo 137. In terms of the numbers na just about one pie.
Okay.
And I wore one independent. Ushanasa, no, 2 weeks ago, metro this opinion I metro say, Osha no cranium, Adiano apai. And me can say, so Moku P. Parliament first day.
Yeah.
One shakra na. Asem akoba about why enentina speaker ni nifa so and why enentina ni benkumu so because omo arrangement no wo majority party and I refer wo majority caucus no mo ena mutna speaker ni nifa so
okay
and we minority no mutna ni benku
right
nti na ye na fi ekoba sa na afi to na me hwe din na say asema na me ke na me fi say academic exercise bi ni na me dim say practically no be ba be to ya mankrofo be ku bibia mo betena ho
wow
na okay the rules of the house now. Yeah, show adwene ekusi order specific order no so I say you have either majority party or you have majority caucus.
Okay.
Na omonso na I'll say the parties that form the majority, no, and no determine the leadership as to majority leader, ne engekahu. Inti a bit there no, I can't so much say. Say Andrew Amwako Esiama.
Yeah.
Say Omo could do parliament. Na or the no edon moi. Not just a more majority. No more form majority caucus.
Okay.
Into omo and on betina speaker in Nifaso. If you remember, when I wrote the article, me can say at that we do parliament the first time no. Na omuntimi inform caucus. Because I was say omuyi speaker ni edikan omuyi speaker wia and sana speaker ebe swear them in
yeah
na omoye de omodimu enu etire no ena obi e was so trocrat that's what I have my little research has revealed
yeah
also trocrat has come speaker na okache speaker say afedie me pese me ne ekuwe ena yeden ena yedi nkita ho ansana nipa no ya fa no say nipa no wa ka omo ho enti between that time no who are you going to say forms the majority parties or caucus? You won't find it.
Great. Lawyer, before I bet to us, indeed, for the understanding of our listeners, the difference between the majority party and the majority caucus. May can say so now at for Monko Facebook. Now for Moshe de Akoso, Ewam Rasha Bigam. Lawyer, my introduction kakra.
Sir, ya to abane wie no. Ye na ye ni say ye de the number of seats on the AD Koma Air Kasa. afanunu na obi ni majority.
Okay.
Because so who majority next say who abanu be essing the other side. Adie so apai.
Okay.
We cannot say there is a majority party.
Okay.
A party in majority.
Okay.
But say you could rap if you who we a dem who we na sebi ye two abayi speaker we na speaker so esfa any MIS na afi ye be members of parliament ye di mu a na independent ba ko a owo mu no.
Yeah.
Na fi onu etro no kire say me pese me ne MPP ena eto aba. Not just say they have been able to form the caucus that is the majority.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
So that's my understanding. But when it comes to party in the pure sense of it, by my reading, near TNO, any majority. Inti me kono na me say na MPP say oh your majority and this say oh your majority I'm say angofo e dey no mo kan tam.
Yeah.
Because o hwini ye mpo na akwa ye say ye mra no kire say majority nso no ya na ye sabi majority leader ya obe free party a ewo aban mu party a owo aban mu nti se ofri o party no aban mu a na say ubetumi form majority and form the majority leader.
Okay.
But majority no, it doesn't mean say we are three. Not still I will see me wa aban mu nti me wa majority.
Okay.
I don't know the the cast I mean and trust me.
That is still I was so we majority in parliament and son away to me from majority leader.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And now say what could do parliament? Say no kind in parliament.
Yeah.
In parliament. And I say so who as a party we in majority you to abani we ye no mpo a who could do parliament no when ya nkofo bi a omoye dey omo abeka wo.
Okay.
Now if you more form the caucus in parliament as a majority no.
And see, you're funny say then as it stands now, you need majority leader and you need minority leader. Are your leaders?
Maybe I said no. Unless I have a superior interpretation to the contrary. Unless you work emrebia ubetimi gina so dey akyere me near mesisa ma adwen dia because sabi emra na yeni na nipa ba ko nim.
Okay.
Nti e bia no bi so nim emra no hu ba bia menim o de no betu gya na o de kyerɛkyerɛ mu na o de kyerɛ me sɛ enu nti no dom wei na ye majority a na me so me kan na me hwe a e bia me no be ya adwen but until that no ade no sɛ ne ehu no apai
Asamo lawyer at the time NDC echo parliament echo occupy the majority side name say still we were in the 7th parliament and
exactly. Exactly.
What gave them that right to say still 7th parliament? Our minority, they will just move straight and occupy the majority side.
As far as the 7th parliament, not any no, and I say no.
Yeah.
No one need to me some bias idea. But said oh sha, you know, a man can't say can't just move to me because a woman will say idea no. Yeah, kotena ho na 7th parliament no ejuma e wose ye no ya ye wie so kai so mu di kan ko ye ejuma bia wo so mu ye a few bills amendments bia na wo so mu ye ewia no ene saada no mre mu ho no mu ye ni na ti no mu ni se wo san ko fi ho no 7th parliament no midnight because na judicium ena anka sa parliament no ebetwem nanso omo ko ho no 7 parliament no ejuma bi eni omo ko akoye aye 7 parliament no di mu no omo ko akoye omo ena so omo ko akotena ase no ma twen na emra no edu edu wi a no mo say afi e twem ya cross as a crossover and I watch night send ye no emra no du pe ni enim say ye share 8th parliament na ase no enti osha adwen na eta nyomo ye na echi no but nya say bia omo rights I don't think that for as long as the life of that parliament had not expired, of the 7th parliament, for as long as they had dissolved, they cannot say that they had a right
to go and sit
take
there.
The place by arrangement for the majority party, because the NPP at the time had a good majority, if you like, call them absolute majority.
Okay, kind of sad. It means any MPP member at that time, I will be rare chamber who say no. NDC 40 majority side, I can go for my seat. Is that not it?
Oh, I know they say send a match to me. I'm running so here into 7 parliament room and chemu. And he said 7 parliament room that so etiasia. Baby, I was a meeting and honor was a micotena. Into you be bar or baby was but send it you. We now winning say 7 parliament no entry mudie na so at that time omo ba ho no 7 parliament ejuma bi eni omo ba be ya ma 7 parliament
okay
mo ba be ye e 7 parliament mo ba be tina se atwen keke na emre no edu na 7 parliament no ewu na afi o ma she if one na say inti akwa say it's a matter of because anka is say the NDC will go and sit on the left. Now after time na so wie no ma ko gina NDC for any say mo sorry na ye metna ho na ye the majority because wo number no 137
right
Miss me number 137 do dream the country say we majority it means sorry na afemi yes sa baby ayetna
okay
and no care maso and at is sabre so I said na MPP near umunim any minu me na ni mo ne say 137 no kra na asem aba ho for NDC no because of the Cape Coast High Court injunction decision no but mremu no we say ye na ye media so de but mremu no nyama bi wo ha wa anya injunction no sabi endimu
okay
nti we say dey na ye nimu de but ye nimu no na ye emra hye say wo senka omo nya injunction no omo ye ansa na edimu no omo sa abre no omo anya sa injunction no endimu
okay lawyer emremu no na de na wo say omo nya injunction no de na wo say omo ye omo anye minjin bi say bibi wo ha na wo say omo ye omo anye okaya abra ye parliament etnance no ma MPP edi kan erezi question bi after Aruna Idrisu a proposal about Babin for speaker no ala I can say omo fa nominations mbra no anya Haruna okay Afenyo marking Alexander Afenyo marking sorry I can say ansa na ombe propose speaker mpono anke wo say bibi wo ha omo hwe no ka ho asem ansa na ade a wo so omo hwe ka ho asem say nipa esen emrechebejefo sen na wo fie ho a emra emo mo kwan se omutumi eba ho no betena ho na dwumadie na ebekoso no omutumi dibi into kaya enoko ye asem
ama muma yet na sia ade ani nim se bianka ombe ni ntem na yi na nya adaja akoda kakra nti omoye no ekiri bisa Clark no nye ekiri po asase first question after Martin bisa and say nye etieni omati say Cape Coast High Court the order bi aye order bi a itia omumu baako
ase North MP
ninsa kana because court no yeah as a court no share say yen serve on the clerk of parliament nti almost ninsa kana ena ono so den ejitu mu say I ninsa ka
I'm already cry because
no can say Enuntino, he is not able to recognize the MP.
Exactly.
But Osha, Omina, who debate, and I say, Omoko, leaders, no, a court Nancy, near who say, Omoba, no, Clark, no, as I can say. Ja makatwe obi say me recognize no e wo fie ha ema omo try craft and kombeji na free fie honom but osanso ba e be kan say ne tani opeso oni sa nipa ni eginie wodi kan kan ye wo so woka na nipa na onu ka so on recognize no so nipa no ekoso etna fie ho na oto aba ni bia ehu onsunsan so ena o kan sa provision no etre obia ewo fie ho nti na oya ye te say ne Pontius Pilate ye sebi mo na mo say mo pe onipa na ekunu say wa ye boni bi bibia mo be ye no ono de sebi wa woro ne nsa efremu nti ekira asem bia no ono de enkanu bi.
But lawyer, what now betimi atrem from where you sit at the time I almost survey the clerk of parliament with the injunction, no, I will be reading it out, you know. What does it mean? What the nanka was so ojina so kase still I nyadi obe recognize the member of parliament elect.
Yes. So utie arguments are omoye ya enunti I say osesa na adwen no. Arguments no na no na ejina article 117. Yemra pon no article 117 no say mmehye bejani bi co parliament akodi nejuma ana ofri parliament wodi ejuma of parliament ewie na ofri ho. Popim say for as long as the person is about the work of parliament, you know. Sebe nkrata bia a free court say yes civil say yes criminal o de hye nipa ne nsemu a enyeye o de hye nipa ne nsemu a enyeye emra pon no etia sa process no na o hye sa amra na wan fasa you know privilege no ama or immunity na ama only MPs,
right,
or the speaker eka ho and on the clerk eso eka ho say clerk ana speaker omoso abra omu ye adwuma ana o ko parliament akodi ne adwuma ana o free parliament no court nkrata civil ana criminal o de hye nsemu a enyeye,
right.
Nti eno na man NDC for no gina so e kan say ne sa no nti no enya ade a anka e wo say clerk mpo oji ena so oji ye so a emfa de kwam
okay
nti wo sha like is the safe you know mo fa say emra no bi o san kire say who say who need to meet about the parliament na ne ye parliament so woye bi na wo be tena ho na woye bia wa commit offense
right
yetimi ni wudi e man yeye nti wo be hwa speaker no ase ne ono the position of fire no say me no wo mienu ye be ye gidigidi no de me nya ne saa mom mejai ama ni kwan eda ho ma no so osan court ho biom
okay
na okobo court na mane say sebe enyanhye na wo de maaye no nipa no etia no sebe wo buso wa amfa nya adwuma wo yes aso a ye friend no contempt
okay
into contempt so the court na ehwe na court editum say nya wo ye no sebe wo bu court na nimtia yetimi de utu efiase mane yeye
right
nti eno so na ebetumi atwe ahwe e na eno akire no esan say clerk no e kind the fact say it can be a criminal offense akire no na ono koso edi na adwuma na sebe wan fa ne clerk no e kan ye no di wan fa nya adwuma no
right
e ho nso no aban e wo kwan ana say e friends attorney general na police force wo kwan so mo so betimi aka say obi edi boni bi sani e mini umienu yekoye bibia yetimi be chi yen de ekogina police station na ana say de court no
exactly
mo so kwan wo ho a mo betimi afa so sa nti say bibisa anso betimi aba say bibisa anso beba ai ye de ni be kwa kogina court nti yen twen say ebia bibisa aba yen tie na no yi a ode be ma because the non-conform can say UTNDC for na ni omo kan say enkrata no anke o say di bi hye e friend say MP no elect no e di bi hye nsem na esan say ya amfa bi an hye nsem ni e friend service no nti no on tie en won hu ye say court bi a take decision against no
right
but the question was say bisa no say abra court no mata order no sa nipa no ote court dem obi ana na oni obi na se no ote court dem ho a ehu hia say obi ka say wo say di nkrata ni because shedding sa ansa na edimu ana
right
emra kwan mu no so ote court dem obi na esi a wontimi nka say wo say sa de nkrata no ko shedding sa ansa na edimu
oh okay
just a court ehye chinchina say wo say di bi hye won sa enye sa wotu ho na ade no course no wontimi nkoye ade foforo enka say ma tikeke bet mi hu bi eva krata nhye mi semunti odi emrami mi dia enyeye.
Okay, great. Lawyer Dwaso Nsem, share the acts by some MPs. More KK ballot box, etia so omo from Rebi.
Sije se woni mu se yekoto aba no echi nkrofo bi ebinom ye de omo court ebinom court ebu amofo ye twa ebu ma omo sika ma omo so muntia na ebi kra sebe ebi omo ko defia se woni mu sa
pa
ye mra po no say we are all equal before the law ye na obiya ni wa president ono emrana yedidi sebe obiya oprapra gwatemu no amrana yedidi sebe president fum emrana kwanya e wo se de na faso no eno ana sa nipa no so e de na faso a eyi ewo mu se ye mmerɛ mu no abra wo ye president no se asem bi ba emra no se ye ntwen so kakra na udi wadwuma ebe yie ya mfie mienu bi ntem ena afi ye no udi a yeye but it is just an example I mean used to say we are supposed to be equal before the law
Okay.
Except where the Constitution has provided any caveats or privileges for anybody. An act which is criminal for every citizen, including whoever you are at whatever level. And the question was say beside say, Niama a course war a Mashabu Muhono. Sebi Ebu Emra Obiebu Mranoso and now Obiemu Mranos. Once we are able to establish that somebody has offended the law, somebody has violated the law, then of course they need to be punished. Okay, I say, you have a election. Yes, you Representation of the People Act. A mra a tresene to aban. Our Muhammad. And CI 127. And our Constitution no ni na fe. Oko to aba e was a secret ballot.
Exactly.
Say kai say ye chinkofo bi kra say o ma to aba o ma anya no secret ballot because o mu no mu twa ho photo. Emma me kai esi so dua say emra no secret ballot no eye wu na wu koto aba no ena emma protection say otu aba wi a obi antimi nhyew say aba no otu ma hwan chinchine a wo so wo kire ne wo to ma na se wan kasa koto aba no wie na wo pese wo bode wuro say aba no metu ma sigya umfomomra enti omo anomo koto aba no sebe oto na ba wie ye ena obebo obi amane se o metuma okwe ana metuma bagboa oni onye eboni bia because emrama etrese ombeto aba ma speaker no etrese o so moto aba no secret.
Okay. And the lawyer, in this case, at least, why establish is the omuye no omafumra and yes, sir. A be a snatch ballot papers, the journey, a be kiki ballot boxes, ningina omafumra and yes, sir.
For as long as the election that was conducted in the parliament can be seen or is recognized by law as a public election.
But in this case, is it recognized as a public election?
I have not averted my mind to that.
Okay.
For as long as it can be seen as a public election, the laws regulating public elections will apply.
But what can you say? At the end of my election, a public election.
Normally, no. Near a election, a public election, no. And it said. Electoral Commission ena wo hwe sa abato no so eye abato a sebe omanfo no ana oman ma no ewo akwanya so mo so be de ombetu bi so I mean in the basic sense no.
Okay.
That will be a public election. In
this case ye hu easy booth ni bi na esi ho and no money constitute and as no money a public election.
It's a bit tricky, and I don't want to be in a hurry to say it is one or it is not. So at this moment, no, I'm only giving us what we can use to make a determination. Into now, why do you say that is what it is? I can't begrudge you. I can't begrudge them. But you know what? Any act of violence is a criminal offense. Say, will be so. Say, public property. Would you want and I would quite be so Eddie say a japadia a buying a japadia no. Now, oh, yeah, then you are committing a crime. You are causing damage.
And in this case, the omuye no na public property. Buy Japadi and yasa.
Na sabi ni yenim. Buy Japadi.
Okay. And see, bani say at least videos. It is captured on video. Why and was say or initiate legal action, and why ne was say or take your idea way up.
Normally, say say obi edi uboni bia wo na okoye complaint mebo
yeah
wo na okoye complaint na your complainant na afi wa boa police na ma hwehwem
yeah
but yenimu nso say nyama bi o wa efia police for yin complaint and say na ma koye ho adwuma omo a timitu anamo abra obi anfa complaint bi amba no man can say and akoso so okaya na say MPs no march akọ electoral commission no say ye de omo court me boa
yeah
say obi angoye complaint unhu say ya trust obi akoye complaint obi a o sha obi anu a akoye complaint e omo ano maye dey omo a esusu hu say
yeah
omo ye bibia anfa kwam
okay
adie ba ko wasi agitumu ene say practically niama ekoso wo parliament no eya na sebi udi kira ewo crime ekwanso a and even for civil proceedings eya na eho ode nkakra
okay
omumra na nkasa no ana ye constitution na nkasa ekire say niema bi o ho a ye wo parliament ho a yen friendly pano en court bi ama ni nyeye say adekro no ekoso of parliament enko adia but it does not include clear criminal conduct.
Okay.
It does not include clear criminal conduct including the conduct of assault because there were clear acts of assault right there in parliament.
Yeah.
Unkofo to omonsa ebo unkofo bi. So if those people are aggrieved, ombetimi akoye complaint.
Okay.
Na afi yahwe sene ebeko. Nipa sebi ono so eko form ballot no. Na odi dwane free parliament ho no so no. And also I mean clearly but my enye bibia na was ye no in the lens of crime because organization bia ewo ni self regulating procedures wo multimedia yi sabi nyama bi o ha wo be ya e betimi aye crime
yeah
nanso multimedia en twen kra say police for mbe ye ho bibi ye betiki action na ya twen aso
okay
e bia ye say umba aduma bosome ana na wo hwe ba ko mienu e na ye ntua wo kanso ana oti ankoye ye po a ye beka so wo aduma no kra ya jefi wo nsem
right
parliament ho so omutimi ye saade no e ma ne ye omo wo privileges committee omutimi etena nsem so atwi nipa aso enti ye so omo show the way the things that happened. They should be able to constitute the relevant committees and investigate when you are there with Jan Hossa say akoso enti etwemu nti yenkoye baby debi. They should be able to constitute the relevant committees
right
to investigate and interrogate the issues and sanction the people who misconducted themselves right there. We all saw it. The whole world has seen it. Sebi egu oman ni mwase. Egu oman hu fi.
Now, my final question after me jam wako. Indeed, yahu egu oman hu fi. But my final question is so me decide say me conduct election or multimedia ha. Me to me akoye booth na me the coat of arms atari ho na me the ababesia without any supervision by the EC.
There be don't think you see easy near my samfanya Juma Maning. You do it in the very ordinary way.
Okay.
But you say elections be over a institution there, but electoral commission and a shessel.
Okay.
The party somewhere primaries link it one. So okay, say electoral commission and a shessel.
Exactly.
So those situations too are there.
Okay. I asked this in relation to the booth tonight.
I get it.
Our parliament, So it's possible, said you use your parliament, if it easy for us here.
No, possible.
Possible. Okay, right.
Possible.
Like I mean, there was in fancy. Why? I'm some drink. Great, sir. But indeed, and then you see team, a Sempana team.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Great. Me that's Monsieur for lawyer Samson Ladi, a private legal practitioner, a host of Newsfile here on Joy. This is joining Adom 106.3 FM. 24 minutes after 7. Yemfa with him.
Whis boy. So is Odingo. No time breakers. Catch me if you can. Kaije Polindu. Kaije Polindu. Kaije Polindu. Make up time to enjoy yourself. Kaije Polindu. Kaije Polindu. Kaije Polindu. Make up time to flex your money. Party the rock. What's in the blow? Party the rock. What's in the blow? Party the rock. What's in the blow? Party the rock. Party the rock no bodani. Party the rock no bodani. Party the rock from my everybody will so party the rock no bodani. Party the rock no bodani. Party the rock from my area. Everybody will so Nigeria music on the go to bodani. Africa music on the go to bodani. You call us for high life. You call us for people. You call us for rap. You call us for R&B. And the dance of us. And the dance of us. It is everywhere. Oh yeah, dance with your baby. Celebration time. What we jump in. Who left to honey? No get. This one now is Odingo style. This now is boy I'm not alone. Kaije Polindu. Kaije Polindu. Kaije Polindu. Make up time to enjoy yourself. Kaije Polindu. Kaije Polindu. Kaije Polindu.
Ready 26 minutes after 7. Make up the 7th parliament transition into 8th parliament. I know the interview be on here see doing get a trendy was social media join them blows a hold a course soon be fun and here join your Facebook official videos I hold one. And I watch one here, so I am watching ABY. I say, hello, ABY, I'm watching. Maybe about there.
Now, because I hear Juma Pa.
I say, there be ABY, what boy Juma?
There be Nanyam no Nasha. Nano tea.
Yeah, but on say,
I said, Mino, and a boy. I just say, boy, I
Oh, what's that so describe ya chen na dey ni. Asamo. Mo ri jam mo ma nya me ne here. E che mi se me be di fufu jam. Ai me di jam. See you ya. O say. Edu ya pa. Now boko there. O ba e bi wa boy adwuma because wo share time I would call parliament. Oh no, there be never.
We come home.
Obiaka home.
Mo ana mo studio.
Obiaka home, but what boy
na for so be can say.
My member abaso. What boy juma. Efo.
Efo do be say.
Me am be say.
Temperature ina sa che na.
They say there.
Afi o ko first one mo say temperature ni kwachire. No aba. No asa ko. Experience I think say ama obi ehu sene eniema esi eko na hyebedwem mo no mo kwan a empanimfo no faso ye wadwuma ne eniema nyina na sempa enye asem ketwa na Carlos ne den na kan tenten
I know apology no the feedback bi na bedu baby an apology no wo mfia bi
enti mpachew
eno kra ozi
mpachew na nso mi wo nchiremu
nchiremu because say MPP na woni mu no enya de obema na ko na te ho a ohun se enkoye no na opese wo create bibi na omo call rerun enti na wo se okoshi
na no mabato no na ehwe so rerun
oh no
na no mabato no na ehwe so
amo na ehwe so
abato ye omutu obi atumi kofa adaka obi atumi kofa butu se den no le ko
obi abeno ye but anyway when I call her fiti the 7th parliament and sana midnight the nya him say by 1 a.m. and I would do mrashe bedwem that evening no na what is saying
asempa me do ho anadwo no enti ye minya ye ne na ekoso na mihun say ye mpon wan
wow
ye sebia ye betumi aye na ya so en speaker na bibia akoso o me share grounds wo no mo ne ma ekoso na msem ye mpon wan eti ye share report na sinyina ne na meka ne say ye tumi awie ntem aya no pa 6
wow
me ne na mi hunu no
wow
say ye tumi awie ntem na
na dia na wote ye hu ye nti ana ye o se ye mpon wan no
from NDC camp MPP camp and she say ya no ma because unim me call ye no obia campaign nkrofo
okay
MPP for e campaign wo nkrofo e wo hotel
okay
NDC for so campaign wo nkrofo ba NDC for no e jai wo nkrofo ne ntem omu ne omu ye bia no omu anhya ase da na
oh okay
omu hya ase jama be na nsa ansa na ye bre no beso eti no omu atoto omu niema
okay
ye kwa atade e be hyenie ye e was a time say ni edru ho no
okay
ye koduru a e was ye dikan wuram ye kɔ ne ye kɔwuram na so omu didin abobɔ ho no mo a ye be wa agwai se masha o se bambofo no ba kwan a ye di ombe na che se o ma hyehyɛ omu niema nyina se ye be kɔ no MPP for so ye o arrangements na ba wunim omu de no omu ye no omu nya fela
ti no mo guso ye
na eche say aseniema
mo plans
na bebom se mo nkrofo no nkrofo na wuram mo nkrofo no be miensa be num ya to mo ahwe yo mbeto atiom etina omo ya na edu ba bia na o ma science okay ene ye be hye ha say e wo see make sure say
okay
nipa no aye ekọ no obia sa wo po so mpo no abanu ye chu e dia kofa akọ
wow
ye kokoduru so a esan sa yanyinie
anyway yan church for say bia wo ka ho asem ye busu akọ Facebook sesi a na afa hwe bia ABY e ka ho asem na wo be hu de koso nyina ABY to asema me
because who say enhyehyɛ ya make no hwe ne koso o house one man na che say obia plan no ye no MPP for de ne say e was e make sure say obia omo de no omo weke wo omo ho
okay
e was ye nyina 137 no ye nya ni nyina ene anim so say ye wo baako ye independent candidate ye ono kra no as time na ye to for speaker no minim baby ana che say no gina ba no my imagine say was ye weke 137 no ho Oma anko NDC for die nu. Sɛnea NDC for wuru omo die nu mo. Elobi ye ehun sɛ enkrofo ni bia ye oma dwen sɛ ye niema yi a obedi yachi.
Okay.
Etu omo die ne de kwan omo na MPP for so de na omo ye ne sɛ sei ni ate. Eti e wo sɛ ye make sure sɛ mu nyina mo de begum.
Okay.
Eti kwan ye befa so amudi begum unipa kro twra afa kyere. Wotra e wo sa wo ma ye hu. Senka ye ne ye te ho. Wo se bi wo ho no mo a.
Yeah, se wo te wo no atwero.
Eti senka ate wo na wo tro de a. Na wo de be kye ne owo nifa. Na de a kye ne owo benkum na de akotwum.
I confirm it.
Ba sa wo hwe ne omo ye so a ye de adaka bezu okona ko gina.
Yeah, kwana ko ginam. Nti ene ye wo ne onyame.
Wo ni onyame kura no mo ye o madwen se. Wo ya evi se omo be start no ne ye course ni. Omo de ye maame Lydia Sayira Malasa.
Yeah.
Ekoko gina enchemu hono baby abefa
akoye yi no
ewo MPP side wa akwoto aba no mo de ni kogina hono ena munta ka mo hwe no mo hu se ade no aye to se yesi aba ne yeto de anka enyina ntena ase eno de akinye kakra baaye ena omuma ye maame sai antena ase hu se ade na nye body ankwada dwonti emfa oba nkogina no ena omuma chief rep na nkasa ye anodompre ekoko gina baby a eya say ministers no ko statement a omu ko gina no oma ni gina nchen ho no mo ena muntaka free omo ho no mo sa be tai anodom prenchen
wow
be gina ne nchen na omo so che say da bi we anya bo ne ye bo no wa be attack me
obi agire line
so gina ho na hwem dia kokko gina mo fa ho na muntaka se wonko
we say no nim se wa wie ne adwuma won ne fie
ntino wonko e say no omo nim se omo wo bi ewo MPP for the anywhere
was make sure so much
say omo nsa beka so a so omo ntumi a make sure say MPP for fa kire no enya adwuma omo nya eze say nipa no fa kire no enti sa nkrofo nde no ma ye din say mo de mo make sure say ebeye yesi esikite enye sikite beto
that's right
enti na no mo so mani abra say e wo say make sure say mra no ebeye adwuma wo de ekoye enti wo abra mu ntaka be gina ho no first person na ye bo ni din no who say ye start ye to first no ono otwiro wie ye no a okọ no eno kra de wan fa nkogina butu no wansa no wode kire wo fom ho ena mu ntaka hu ye no ko hwimade ni free ne nsem Pepa na nke wo so de kwatum okohwim free ne eno na de santa wanta wan shase first one e ba ye na start free wo
okay na ade no hwimie
so ono no hu ne enye
valid okay
etu di ache di amfa nkotu
because ade na secret yes obia
omumra no hu asempa conflict wo kwan bi so because unim Sarship system will say, e was say a year juma. Womumre mu parliament or no, e was say ye juma. It is a year juma so dear. Mush if you be in line, say, e was see a conny say, e was all shaman no ye juma. And I was some mush some rano so say, about only a secret, no, and no so ye juma. And it two way no. Say, ube shase be ye juma, e kwambisono, e boy budakakra. If you say me say omuni line no near me pesa omo ye ne say yentwunko sei yentwunko sei na wo say me hu indeed a secret
on say okay there wo kan no enti ase a me nya ne say on say na NDC for secret because omo nim say omo wo bi wa
omo wa nu say omo pe me mate no na omo wo be 5
me so dia me tie no say omo nipa 5 e na omo nya wo MPP mo ye sure say zani pa 5 na beto am
the chrome ni omo ye de say me call ye na sempa mi wura mu abisa say ye sika say mu bisa na o masere o ye mahwe but at the crew bi omo ye no hono mo no omo ye ni ye na unse na me ka bibi say NDC for preparations no o man shase dana ye beto aba no
omo shase
entem
okay
kwa nipa kro mu yi no so omo de ne ba ni nyina no omo ye very strategic say nipa yegu NDC mu a ye wo parliament nyina no obi ani hwa ye de no kwa ye betumi anya dom je baben
okay
enti no omo overlooking niema bebre wo baben ho because NDC party ni nyina no anya omo nyina na pe baben sa wo de fa bo yen kwa chiri kaka na yen hwe ne utterances bi a waye ene chese oye towards nipa no a sa bre wodi NDC amanyoko nanim no eti omo a wo say nipa ni bi wa politics no omo ye na ode na koma na dwen ti oja na dwen weti sa nkofo ni say hu ni say o ba ben otan jomama ba ben tan joma but omo overlooking ni nyina hu say this is the time ye here to me no nipa so e de no kwa ye benyani Esababin ono say we NDC so ye MPP or kwan of faso ni nipa ni nyina nante
but honestly wo hwem dia babin ne experience in parliament honestly what you say akonwa ne fata no mom and afani nyina so hwa omakomam no as omo pe babin asem but just the party sem na ba
asempa you just don't appoint to be a keke say minima sempa ebi asempa ye minua meni asempa ne free krom no omum enna make say omo overlooking niam de hu say no to me ne epe we ne de ne kwa ye benya
to me
na masua eniam ba miensa e woni esiye no mu sa wodinta wantawa woni obi wo to nchen you need not to be friends with obi ansa na ne na ye
exactly hwe nipa ne qualities di obetumi aye ne fa ne ye enye se oye good kra me mpena asem ntime fa ne ye yeah
because I would ba MPP afa hono mo a nipa no ewo MPP mu wo parliament hono mo no kra no bebre speaker no wote so no o mani nye ne ho so o se mebo a enne hwe oye no
Professor Michael
yes from results baye any adwuma waye se asempa ko house on mo a nipa wo ni bi be ka cho se oh ebe adwuma se ye boa na hye bedwam puntudwuma ne sa ne ma na waye bi ena hwe bills ahoro so mutumi paase ye waye ho no madwuma ba se ye kase nipa ye nipa wadwuma a wo ye ka ho woni nipa nkita hodie ka ho
exactly
enye se wo obi ho no mo anti na etoda ye se oba no wodi buku nko a na wa amma no efie nyansa nipa sunu amma wanhu sani osini nipa tena eno so ko ha adwen eti MPP for I hope say we be mo mahu efi sa abri kwa sa afi no mbe appoint ministers ne niema aka no omumfa we entoto ho
a lesson honestly
a
lesson pa
great lesson
pa
and anya de nyina so ne be ne se emra no se emra ya gumwe ye mra fo nipa mra no ye ma nipa ya mo nipa amamra enti wodi be si second deputy so edienu second deputy speaker de enu mu a asiama de no say ya yiri ya hu twan ya say ya mane nko ko papa isi buei mo si no wa huni anu so ekosi papa na bochira wonya ye wa branta wanta wa ne hyase no he decided say oni media communication no wate so enti na wo frɛ no a owo special assistant bi a ono kasa so kasa ya enke betumi yi na sem num eda we wo kan we eda we wo oye din every form ka say ya kana ko nwa na butu ni nyina no aye din so some results no nanra asempa wabra omoto abani wie ya ndisi for no start jubilation no papa ne hye na ko nwam nana waye din me ti ni din say ye so na be second no na me suroma ne say eh ni wan hwe obekọ one term me kan na say obekọ one term but from sani enra ne mesiko ye no agreement bi a omako NDC for tiase ne asie
oh of course
MPP for so tiase
yeah
enti MPP for nyina so emfa nye campaign nginsi no ena ebi so kra 2024 no MPP for mfa nipa nkonko gina wo constituency no ebiem eti seba ne saade a ne huso na emom ni nyina ni gina na adwuma free sabri ko obeye so ena ebe mo maka se ye di nipa be kwa na se ye mfa nipa nko ti ebetumi aye jo wise die ni bi ye mfa nipa nko ye ne waka bom asempa ye niema bebre
but what was for me na MP no wo share a kwaya of fast so assign the winning ye na say wa be second deputy speaker of parliament no na otimo say Formula 4 did the Asia Bonabaso 2024 because we're pejom dimpa, we're pejom. And easy. It's a see an second deputy speaker. And there was Zawuti, I'm about to Facebook Nafe, share Honorable Andrews Siama Amwako, Nasema Kashan, and Fonyi da of Fefe, second deputy speaker. And easy.
Say one nama.
And easy. Second deputy.
You have a case and border gas. One border gas and a benanti. What the guys be dinechi, obewo police near. One no ebenanti. Maybe I'll say one cry, I say no. Maybe I'll say one cry, Hannah, a best. One baby are free from say, ye trying wait on her, wait on lesson dear a comma parties, no, and penning for what parliament to war and say a yakake asempa, winning say baby and penning for you know,
yeah,
say and penning for to me cambomu ye juma, a very fletty. Ewo ya manyo sema ye niema ye nyina mu no se sene ye no ma ye nim no dada ye hunu aye kan se sei no tie sei no obetumi aye no so otumi ya sa all inclusive government na oma pa no it can start from there
and the winner takes all no so ye be yefio ye be yefio sa winner takes all na nipa bako fa bibia boso no
say nya time a wode pakwasimdum ebe public sector reform minister sabre no kura na ehu say civil service no say ya tete ye and then mampani na do ba ya wo yi doctor yi anu o kira de kan UST doctor yi o kasa radio so no o kasa pa wo ba public sector reform hono mo ya anye ni minister mom ba ye create ya create agency say on na no me we fini doctor Bana Sebisa
Amakoba Debbie on the non national chairman craft for the MPP
Papa ye na waye
Cape Coast nani pa
entino e toda would you be free amanyoko foforo bi mu say ye ne be ye adwuma ne wo ya abro bedi wabro ne na dwen mu so da ho no o kasa wo boa wa obetumi aboa wa ma mamuo na koso enti ye hwe ne ye besi because ye wo agreements bi ye wo bills bi ye wo niema bi a ya ye ne parliament a esunsunsanso ma wo man no ankoyie ankoyie
esuma manfo hwe wo nyina adena na ni ade
o na ni ade ba na ni ade ata ni si ye nyina na sempa me ne emrahye badwafo na di atutwa asem no me ni 2 ekasai na Carlos so ede ne reaction aben me ne John Jina Pokasai.
Okay.
And I mean,
I know so na bo fupa. We share videos. Say video na twaguna. Na John bo fupa.
Na so muni ahoden o. E wodi say
yes we are na.
E na afi John Jina po na obie na no akasa ma. Ni asi.
Wow.
Minim baby kura otiatia mu fa ye. But okan ni nyina na me draw attention to say niema ye. Mo ana vigilante mre maji atum. Wonim se wafom.
Yeah.
And no started so apologize.
Oh, okay.
Say near ye no, ye nim say e bi wo honom kra me ferry. But na near ye pese ye ni.
Okay.
And na we so I don't want the ene de ekoye say yidie Carlos de no. Ma fom so me wa asem kan. And no odi bo defense
Okay.
Eti
everyone me yankwa homa no sombra na afi yankwa twetwen kama but before then well, Minfa message went to Gao. So the NDC went there with a clear plan, but MPP did not. There was no need to go to the booth to tamprint. You could have just ticked without tamprinting. The MPP was not forthright because the moment you saw the NDC occupying your position, they should have known that the battle lines has been drawn. Okay, may that be bro making kind. Also the amount. Honorable Matthew Nyendam, the former deputy majority chief whip, former member of parliament, Bandai constituency. Honorable Nyendam, what you mean council doing count? I hope so also here.
Oh,
great. And what constituency and I won't cry.
I won't cry.
Oh, I'll cry. When I'm called constituency.
Constituency, you man have before.
There's a original touchline, a whole body.
I should have been sent to the American.
But some won't call parliament to be away. What next? Now, Bay.
Well, as a business, Krabi, so be a politician, yeah, politicians, politician, but was why.
na kwa bia so akwanya baba ma edi aboy party na edi aboy government no na yaso mo no edi amomo
okay and nadia obekwa akọchira ade bio
tabi enye ebe di nkaka
and your wefim
and ebe di nkaka
honorable Hausa chira.
Oh, but teacher Juma Sabio, it's a very good job because the mayor abdominal chira. Just say your output, no. They are fantastic because usia school kwala and especially those who excel. Omu who are just a prefix ne by bonne as some palm kafri no.
Yeah.
Na shira bebre. And you know, teaching is something that, but me, I check a
okay.
And you know, one here now, after all this, I processing no, kofa we bra, never be how you crown.
Yeah.
And you know,
and a V8 is so cry. But honorable, indeed, Nejayaniwa multimedia, we hear with TV, so church and your mem when your mind in the course who are parliament in now. But who your former deputy majority chief whip, but your educate your kakra, the whipping system, no, saying.
Well, I mean, that was in a match here at T4. Na machia pandai for so na machia president ma congratulate no enra nyakopo adoti Ghana sadi tumi na mano for the next 4 years so obetwa so na waye na juma pa me congratulate no congratulate the vice president of the Republic of Ghana ajuma pa omunyina omaye na party no asatumi abapower party mpenyifo nyina me chia omo na machia ye leadership currently in parliament also your boss, Chairman Sabusu, any the current crop of leaders now, Modia Cornerstone, your bumpire, na your momo. Now, I'm congratulating the first time in the history of the Republic of Ghana, say, Benya speaker for fro, I'll be free at Ben for from. Your first, a manual for from, no, I'll be this speaker, a different government. Honestly, we congratulate you. Now, Uba now beside the whip system,
yeah,
it's a very powerful organ when it comes to leadership.
Okay.
Wo whip no we chief whip with 2 deputies no. Makwa kwaye mo say welfare officers within the caucus. And the chief whip, the majority chief whip is the chief whip of parliament. Although minorities who are momo whip there. But we government chief whip no. We chief welfare officer for every member of parliament.
Okay.
Because of that particular rule, no, Emma Tumi be Adom 106.3, and you are supposed to make sure that you whip members online. Well, in every society, people are bound to misbehave. People are bound to have dissenting views.
Okay.
People are bound to think differently from what your party wants. People are bound to think differently and do different things from what your caucus wants. That is why you will have a whip. And in the literal way, I'll be I can say,
exactly.
That's the meaning.
Yeah.
It means that be individuating free agrimpoa sabio mwabo. Nti seba whip system now who control members. You give information to members, you pick information from members, you direct members as to what the leadership wants you to do, as to what the party wants you to do. Just say, it is a whole lot of things. Obia when I hear someone, parliament one hip no and or the bow or complain bia hip no and or the bow.
Okay.
Why you say welfare officer be
right?
Parliament hono.
And you know, but Momo whipping it, the mo use aba kasa and a mode kasa to convince the people. Yes, sir.
Kasa. And now, a monuments be so parliament one more. A be wa a bedi nsem. And now, so you are quite bano. You form committees, the various committees now parliament.
Okay.
Yana said you be a committee. About a country. Yena sabi yema we kwa ha.
Okay.
Into yes you will never be a yedema members no. And because members also want to benefit from you, no, they respect your opinion.
Okay. And yema banks are and more we pink for na more the more apart from Casa.
Oh, and I make no. one, our relationship with the people.
Okay.
Our colleagues are very, very important. Nipa ahia some what the and the way you receive it are very important. And your leadership, no, parliament is leadership throughout. First come, first serve, that kind of thing. Because a sitting arrangement, won't mean fa obia where third timer, not the aquacotina akunyanachi.
Okay.
We are sana a demotion. And so be ewo caucus no na sabio say we a second timer now a third timer. That's what we kwa share chiria. Let's just say the person has a problem.
Right. Meaning some more way pia nature say everybody must be in line. But the ban is saying more way pia afi na ubon say fairly.
That is human nature too for you. Obi o wa o wepo na on wepo. Wow, but ni nyina no so ye kasa kire. Sometimes no as a whip no ultimate pick a signal be say idea ya yesi ye babe ye akwa yesi wanye. Wow, na me kira no say a human thing, you know, as a whip your ears are everywhere. So bit me catch so that the way yesi obi anye the say no. As soon as say na adwen say one here onye. Into who gather some intelligence now, you quickly have to move and talk to the person.
Okay, great. And in this case, you know, what went wrong in here when to me and all the people in line moment voting the direction and
Well, it's a very difficult thing for me to explain because Sabio Oma Iwagura Wafri Agronomoa Okai Nyuma Enyi because let me ni hobby. Well, I'm not part of them, but I think that near a year, Nurano, a brilliant argument because whatever be the case, Bonnie Ben Kran and Nipabit near to that level. Say, so you this one it goes beyond even the immediate parliament. It goes to the extent say presidency required because in the Fourth Republic of Ghana, no, this kind of situation before, where you have members of parliament to be 137 for the majority,
exactly
137 for the minority, and one independent to decide the fate of parliament. We have never experienced that. And I must also admit, say, in the whipping system, no, yes, people misbehave. You are not able to get everybody online. But in this case, it was so exceptional. Say, you didn't even need somebody to come and tell you that what you are going to do was wrong. You didn't need somebody to come and tell you. Say, nipa baku pe se one to abana, one person and to abana pe. Let's just say you have given advantage to the other party, which is the opposition, and that is what happened. You know, me as a party, no. You're doing why and that's the reason why I'm not in the whipping line. So if you are voting, you have to show your vote to the whip to make sure say we can stand in for you. Say yes, you have voted. But anyway, I mean how it went. Almost say be the omedi actually be so and for omedi actually. Until kobasa na ama accusation will go on and go on and go on.
But honorable, would you say the two personalities no mujra for speaker no Omobo Breso Ekaho and the Mamon Crawford be decided on be vote in the opposite direction?
I don't believe that. I don't think say speaker now Abambagbe is more better than Professor Michael. Believe that. And say about party discipline. A caucus discipliner. You goes beyond say way away. That be a caucus discipline, a Professor McQueen Ediko. That is it. It's not negotiable. And you have to be negotiated. Say way. But I think that maybe some bitterness. Nipa na hwe individual bitterness. And nipa me no na hwe individual bitterness. And omo dey cause the whole party. But other than that, there is nothing that would justify what the two people have done. You can't justify it. You can't explain. And I said, they understand the party system better than even some of us. So they should have known better. Say, this is a party decision. MPD, but they would read. A decision of the party, and the new crop of MPs no mabano. I'm sure the leadership, whoever matters, has spoken to them, and they have advised them. This will be as about floor now. At me, yes, I deal with now. Now, me feel say a bitterness be okay. So just have bitterness, no. Na oye ni asabio ebe buaye nyina. But massa.
And as well, honorable. Finally, ujidi in honorable Abang so bet to me I handle Parliament fairly.
Yes, bet me I handle Parliament. As to fairly, that I cannot confirm, because a drubabia individual interest bum, party interest bum, and no Abba Sumani Bagbe Sabio Lewe speaker. If free NDC Mona Waba, the NDC proposed him, and we all know the kind of politics we do in this country. It is not going to be in his interest. It is going to be in the interest of somebody who has proposed him, forcing him to do what he wants him to do.
Okay.
That fair aspect, I have a difficulty in it. But by and large, he's a gentleman, he's a good man. But he cannot, I always say, but because he presides over the house. The house is rules. He has to interpret the rules. The rules are there. Or the majority leader or the leadership or any member will call on him and quote the relevant standing orders and tell him, say, Speaker, this thing you are doing is not the way to go. But we most of the times, they will be calling for votes, or they will be calling for head counts because of the 137.
Okay.
Believing that somebody will do what they have done before.
But you believe,
that's the fear.
But you foresee it's going to be a tough second term for Nanado.
It's going to be, Nanado has always been a tough man, and I believe and have all the courage in him, say he will govern this country even better than maybe the seventh Parliament, because more vigilance will be given, more attention will be given. But the good news is that I still believe that we have 138 members of Parliament who have pledged their support to the majority caucus. The independent candidate has been with us. And I have it on clear record that he voted and showed it to the whip that yes, he voted for Professor Makekwe. Tells you that he has joined the majority caucus. And in all, over committee level, if they are supposed to be 9 members, MPP will be 5, MDC will be 4.
Okay.
And when it comes to voting, the people with the highest votes will carry the day.
Matthew Honorable Nyendam, we wish you well. Why? As we join Council Yakasa. We for Honorable Matthew Nyendam, the former member of Parliament, Pandai constituency, the former deputy majority chief. We remember so see the Adom Nsem, bro, what joining a high Adom 106.3. Kobe Stone, and Nasi Abusia for Asumbiankamo. Bibia Boko there. Fufu Abasi, Kenra holiday, near Yatsna baby, near Papa be. But they say, Moko Jame, Monkwa, no more faho. That's me home. No, there be nothing me home, Moka. Say, ya, Miss, you are over home, Nekono. As your modias, ambassador. Oh, I did. I want to Mr. Modias, and dear, oh, Mammy, be new. Oh, they not Ghana. Oh, say, and this Ghana in fan and head.
But manager first interview no.
Very something or lawyer something.
But also no, I did about Kwase mention that
diploma.
I say do baby. Ontimi nsi su pise emra na sise say Brand of baby, so hard guy. Hard guy. That's what children whole life. Oh, but I educate you about.
Well, who can now?
Still not any minority.
Debbie.
But some
yeah.
Amamuonu
was a papa no.
Papa na one ne kasa. Na se we no e mamuonu koyi anamboa.
Oh say enka ne papa mu di anke e be kase e be mamuonu akoyi. But say ban bia ba and you may be no be so pia.
Oh, yeah, but because I wouldn't say the idea to Dawson.
In the Omokoya,
Dawson, and you cry a vanco. Because they do time I try, a fresh and try, you bet to near them. Wait, you want to win Pierre from Amiabe.
I was saying, some more stay tuned. I would have.
Hi, this Andrea.